Well, good morning, YouTube. It's October 29th, 2022, and I'm inside of Haulina. It's kind of a cold, rainy day here in Texas, and I wanted you to have a little update on Haulina. I have had the diesel parking heater installed. Some people they call it a inexpensive Chinese diesel heater, but it's been a great product for me. I showed you some other videos on it. I just wanted you to show you the parking heater installed in the unit and running. It's nice and warm in this Haulina today. And let me just have you give a listen as the unit is running. And then I'll show you some pictures later on of the construction job, of the installation job that I did on the unit. But let me just be quiet here for a minute and let you listen to it as it's operating, because the box that I built to isolate the pump was a little different than some of the others I've seen. I'm sure they're great ideas that many people have, but this is my way of doing it. And I'll just let you give a listen. Hopefully you've been able to hear or not hear the pump. I think it's pretty well isolated. I have a supply vent here that's closer to the bed area. And then I have another supply vent. It is up on this side of the cabinet down near the floor, which allows that heat to come right in this area here. So feels quite nice here. Nice and warm if you want to put your feet down there. Now what I'd like to do is open up the cabinet door and let you have a peek of where that heater is. Now when I open the cabinet door, you will hear a little bit of that pulsating from the pump, from the diesel pump. But let's go ahead and give it a listen. This is where it's located, down here near the floor. And if you listen closely, you may be able to hear it pulsating. You can. I can. Just barely. And here's the box that I built. And I'll show you some other pictures of this box and how I built it and all. But here it is installed. You can see the diesel line that is supplying the parking heater coming out of the top here, and the diesel line that comes from the tank is right here. If you listen closely, you can hear that ticking. I've tried everything I can to isolate it. But when the door is shut, I think it is even better. I mean, it's pretty quiet, but when the door is shut, it's very quiet. So I'll put these bins back in here. This is Jim's easy way, or Coach's easy way of getting away from having a bunch of drawers. And that's the way it works. I want to take you outside and let you look at the outside finished product, and then I'll show you some videos of the construction project as I worked on it. So let's just take a walk outside. It is quite wet today, but I'm going to take you a walk outside here. Just FYI, I put a little screen on here on the door, one of these magnetic screens. That's one little improvement I made. And my lovely wife made some cushions here for the bed near the back that fill in that gap over a storage area. And it's really made for a nice larger bed area here when the bed is down. Let me take you outside and we'll look at that parking heater, the outside. You can tell it's a pretty cloudy, rainy day here today. A lot of rain. Let me just walk you around here to the outside. Here is the exhaust. It's all rigidly mounted. It's not going anywhere. You can see the muffler there. And I'll have other pictures on the construction that show you, or the installation that show you the underside. And here is the fuel tank, all finished. And I say all finished. The Pretty Redhead is, I thought I kind of liked it just the way it was, but she is thinking it might be nice to have one of these boxes around it. And I'll probably end up putting one of these boxes like I put around the heater and the propane. The propane is over there and the heater's here. That heater is for the instantaneous hot water heater. And here's the fuel tank. I bought a stainless steel tank for it because I thought it would look nicer. All right, that's what I have for you today, and we'll continue on with the installation after this. You'll see those pictures. All right, YouTube. Here's Jim Cassidy's idea for the Mousetrap. How to isolate this pump. I've got 1/2-inch water pipe extending through some Armaflex, both on the top and the bottom. That'll isolate the Armaflex. The Armaflex isolates the pipe. Then I've stole some hair rubber bands from my wife and granddaughters. That'll isolate the pump between the two pieces of PVC. Then the pipe coming in and going out will also go up through this Armaflex. Now, I made these holes in the center a little bit tighter. And I'll probably put a little bit of tape on each side of those bands to keep them in place. I'm also going to put a back to the box with some soundproofing and a front to the box with some soundproofing. Anyway, that's what I've got right now. We'll see how it does. Jim Cassidy signing off. So here is the hole for the diesel heater. I've cut it out, and I knew that this pipe would be in my way. All this pipe is a vent for one of the tanks that's underneath
the RV or the camper. So I'm gonna have to reroute that. It's a little bit tight down below, but if it was easy, anybody could do it. So here we go.
Hello YouTube. I am working on the installation of the parking heater, and I wanted to show you just some of the things that goes into the installation on this. With this trailer Haulina, I did build the cabinet system under the sink. Here's the sink. I've got a cooktop on there now. But underneath the sink, I built that with the sliding drawers and the shelves that are just open. So it really makes it easy for me to come back later and to access any of this mechanical. And I really needed to do that because if you look closely here, right here, I'm pulling in some wires. And when I pull wire, I typically will pull a spare. So I'm pulling the wire I need for the heater. And I'm also pulling a spare. When I did the build, I installed a extra piece of conduit here underneath the sink that goes to a box on the other side underneath the trailer and underneath the power panel to make it easy for me to fish wire from one side of the trailer to the other when it's fully insulated, and it just has made it really nice. Here you see the parking heater installed. Now I've still got some things to do on it, but I'm pulling the wire now. This is the fuel pump that I have underneath the sink, and it's in close proximity to the heater. I think I'll just go ahead and take off real quickly. I'll take out these screws so let you look at the inside of it. This is a box I came up with so I could isolate the pump. All the things I've read about on these pumps is that, of course, they are noisy, and so I came up with a little box idea. I use some water pipe, and Armaflex, and then sound insulation in this box, and then you see some hair ties that are holding. And this is not completely new idea. There's others who've used these kind of hair ties to isolate that pump in the box so that it can move. The other thing I've done is use this Armaflex to insulate, just for sound, all the hard line that then goes back down and up and into the parking heater. Now that pipe that's going into the floor here, I have fished those wires through there, and I'm going to show you where things are going to terminate. For many of you, if you remember seeing my videos in the past, you know that I have the refrigerator and the microwave in these locations. So here's where the microwave would sit, and then the refrigerator sits here. It's not that tough to pull them out. I have some Velcro strips that I use to hold the microwave in place, along with a little bit of wood. And then I use some straps here for the freezer. And I just pull those out, not tough to do. And then it makes it really easy access to get to all of this wiring and to the panel, both low and high voltage panel here. And the boxes, the conduit that I'm pulling through terminates at this box down in the floor. Now I'm going to go ahead and point that down to the floor, and here you see it coming up through the floor. Now there's a matching box underneath the camper to that with pipe between there, and I'll just fish that wire up through here and bring it right into the camper. So it makes it easy for me to bring in additional wiring, whether it be high voltage or low voltage. I say high voltage, 120 volts or 12 volts, not 24 volts. And I'll show you the underside of the trailer where that pipe is too. Here you can see where I have the wire on the ground. I fed it up through here,
And I'm just going to show you the underside here, and then we'll stop this portion of the taping. And right here is the box that looks very similar to the box that's up above inside the trailer. And this is where the conduits terminate and then feed up into the trailer. So that's what I'm working on today. There's lots that has to be done to install this parking heater correctly. We'll continue on. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe.